This is my
Sorry, 1 second.
This is
I'm in Toronto.
Anupa.
Dramatic skies. Looks good.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys.
What?
And we are live on YouTube. So let me just give you guys some housekeeping rules before we start. Welcome everyone. So we'll be streaming on YouTube. We'll be taking some screenshots and we'll be sharing some reels on Instagram. Please feel free to share and share our pictures, share our YouTube, share our posts. If you want any other kind of sharing, please get in touch with us. That's about it. And just have a great time, be happy, sympathetic, and just engage and immerse yourself in each other's story. And I give it to Mark now.
Okay, thank you, Anupa. So we're going for a walk together, and this will be our third go for a walk session. You guys hearing me okay, Anupa?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, okay. And really this is just about, I think, making connections with each other in a different way, and also making connections with the outdoors. It's also a physical activity, right? So for those of us who are outside, we're able to walk around. And the first one of these that we did was during the depths of COVID, and it was an idea that we had to kind of allow us to make a little bit of connection with ourselves in a different way, through the jam, and also to get out and get some fresh air and nature and make a connection with the outside world. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put people in, I think, breakouts. The first breakout session is going to be somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes in 3s or 4s. And we just want you to explore the 5 senses together. So do that however you want. You can take turns describing what's around you and different things that you're sensing with your sense of smell and sight and hearing and feeling, and if you can, tasting. So that's the introduction to the activity. What have I missed, team?
I think,
Anything?
yeah, that's about it.
Are we good?
Yeah, just immerse yourself so we can immerse with you.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to be put into the breakout rooms, and a few of us will stay back in the YouTube main room to kind of share and discuss what's going on around a few of us.
Should I make
Okay.
the breakout rooms, Mark?
Please, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So 4 per breakout would be
Yeah.
awesome. And then we'll come back after 10 or 15 minutes. We'll have a quick discussion. We're going to be in a bigger group at the beginning, 4 people, and then we'll put people in pairs, sort of randomly, and we can have a little bit maybe of a more intimate discussion between 2 people, and then we'll come back, and it'll be close to the end of the jam. No high pressure here, no mural, no intellectual activity that we're going to do, but that's up to you. So you can talk about the meaning of life or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'll open the breakout room. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yay, sending everybody flying. Emil is coming.
Yeah.
Who do we see? Don't we see who's outside? So Steve is gone and Mark is gone. Who's
Maybe
outside?
we can get
Cornelia. Get Mark back, you mean? Maybe
Yes.
we can ask Cornelia where she is.
Um,
Did you hear us, Cornelia? Well, she doesn't.
Oh.
She's gone.
Okay.
Emil, good to have you back. Where are you?
Hi,
Hi, where are you?
I'm at home.
You're at home, wandering around your house.
I'm wandering around the house. I'm just putting in the mince. I'm going to cook chili today, so I
That's
just have to.
nothing.
I have to put in the meat, and then I can join completely in other rooms. But I see there's only 4 participants. But is it because of the room, or is it just because of? Okay.
Would
We
you
were
like
just
to?
being really
Hey,
fast
Anupta.
with the introduction.
Hi. Yes. Would you like to go into a room?
Am I not in a room yet?
No, you're in the
No.
plenary. So if you want, I
okay.
can put you into a room.
The
But
other other question is, Anupa, if Emil would be ready to share with us how he's cooking chili, because
Exactly, I was
you
also
missed the
thinking the same
introduction,
thing.
Emil. And this session is about going outside, but it's about sensory experiences as well.
Yeah, of
We want
course.
to know what you smell, what you see, what you
Yeah.
hear. And
Yeah.
if you want to share, you're most welcome to stay with
Yeah,
us. But
Share
you
your
can go
cooking
to rooms as
skills
well.
and your recipe.
I'd like to, but Anupa, do you agree?
Yes, totally. I was also thinking the same. Weepka and I are on the same page. And yeah, it would be great. I think this is what we were hoping to achieve today. That,
Yeah.
you know, it's not only the, you know, the usual sense of sight and, you know, and listen and, you know, sound, but it's also taste. So
Yeah.
it's,
I can remember the first time I did it with you guys, and it was a winter time. It was somewhat later in the year, and we also did a walk around. And I did walk around, and it was very nice to do but it was just the 2 of us. We were then set into pairs for this meeting. But now we are in the meeting with let's see. We're
oh,
Anupa
hi, Al.
and Wiebke and Ofri.
Hey,
Claudia and Claudia as well, and Ofri.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you want to shoot me to a breakout room, I joined late. That's why I'm in the plenary.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Al. We can put you there, and then you can share with the others.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, anything. Would you like to stay on plenary and share after Emil, or would you like to go into?
Well, of course, I'd like to stay with you people.
Yeah, okay, great. Oh, look at that!
Oh, look at
Emil.
it. Okay, this is not exactly go outside, but it's go for a walk to Emil's kitchen and Emil's cooking for us.
Yeah, you can walk to me. You're more than welcome. I think I have enough for you guys.
Oh yes, please do.
Because my
But
children.
then you have to mouth water it a little bit. You have to describe what you're cooking, what's in it, and what you send, please.
Yeah, it is very strong on garlic and onions, and there's tomatoes in it. There's small tomatoes because I didn't have the bigger ones. There's peppers and a bit of sambal bajak, and that's about it. Peppers, yeah, that's about it.
Mhm.
It's always difficult. I'm seeing a nice view of somebody else there as well. So, but I have to get the mince now. I had to ping it because it was frozen, and now I put it into the paper is still on. I don't like that, but they use it here in Holland. If you buy in a grocery store, and you get the mince is good. Oh wow, yeah.
I love
just-
So
how
we want to hear the sizzle.
Yeah, but you can, of course. But the micro, maybe I can put you on speaker.
I love
it
how we have
possible? No, it's not
spotlighted
possible.
both, and
I
even
can see
Al
it
is
like
showing
this.
his phone
Oh,
on the
maybe like
side.
this, you can hear it.
Oh yes, now I hear it.
Can you hear it?
And while the mince is doing well, we want to know from
No, that's not so nice.
Al, because Al, I just saw Fab Lab. Set up
Yes,
and
this-
repair. Where are you? Describe
this
what you
is-
see.
Sure. This is a local community college, which my son attends, and they have the super fabrication lab, and they call it the Fab Lab. And they have, like, this is a printer. I'm going to show you a printer right here, which prints, I don't know,
Big.
a meter and a half wide stuff, and maybe as long as you want. So it'd be a meter and a half. Well, maybe that's just a meter. And then here's a laser etching tool, I think. And here are all sorts of machine shop tools. So anyway, you can come in here and build things, and it's very interesting.
And where are the people?
Oh, okay. Where are the people? Let's find some people.
What time zone are you in?
I'm in Eastern Daylight Time in New York time.
Okay.
Yeah, where are the
And
people?
so it's now like in the morning, 10 o'clock or something, or 11
Oh,
o'clock.
it's 11 o'clock, yeah.
Okay, okay.
And what's the guitars for? Can you touch one? We want to hear something as well.
Oh, there are no strings in this one, no strings.
Or none.
Let me hang on.
Oh yes. Can you play the guitar out?
I can. I'm not going to play any of these guitars.
Can you improvise just a little bit? Oh please.
Well, these aren't my guitars. I can't really take
Oh,
one
that's
We
down.
won't tell
personal.
anybody.
I'll take a rain check on that, and I'll certainly do it when I'm at home, when I have my own guitar. Here, there's some people in here, so let me show you. Oh, let me. This is interesting. Can you get a good vision of that?
Yes.
It's these strips going down that have various bulges in them, and
Wow.
it's hard to see on camera.
But what material is it? Can you describe how the feel is?
I'd say it's wood. I'd say it's thin wood that's been painted.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's definitely a piece of wood.
Yeah. Is it soft? Is it smooth?
No.
I mean,
Well, it's got paint on it, a little textured paint. It's a
mhm.
little, it'd be interesting to take a stick and
Mhm.
run it along this material and have it make the sound like click, 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 click. That'd be fun if I was a kid.
Mm.
And then here's some beautiful wood right there.
Yeah. I see
And
that.
I think there'll be some people in here. Finally, we found some people. One person, two people. And
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm not really outside because on my laptop, but I thought like sound. We've got a lot of wind here. Can you hear that?
I can't. It's amazing how well Zoom seems to do the audio part of the conversation. I think they do a really good job.
It's really windy. It was windy the entire day. And this is a beautiful garden. And you can hear it. It's almost like being in Hampstead Heath, and this is not very far. Hampstead Heath. Okay, just my little share of fresh air. Offrey, we haven't heard you.
Yeah, you don't have to show your screen. You can just maybe chat with us. Oh, I think Emil is showing us some really nice sauce. Oh, it's a sambal. Okay.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Cooking is going on.
This is a really
Offrey,
nice
what's
evening
your,
with
what's your
music,
take
and
on
we have-
Emil's cooking? I think Offrey's not even really hearing us, is she? Then we might hear from Emil again.
Yeah.
What's your main influence in your kitchen now?
Sorry.
What's the main thing that I would be able to smell or hear in your kitchen now?
Now you smell like a mixture of peppers and garlic and onions and maybe a little bit the meaty smell. There's fat coming out of the meat. You can smell that as well. It's really nice, and it's good cooking now. So I'm just waiting when to put in the beans, and then I'll let it simmer, and then I can go outside just to let the ingredients become friends,
Mm.
So that is a very important thing I've been told. But they don't have to be old comrades, because then it will be dry and yeah.
Nice, very nice.
So, but
Yes.
how are you guys doing? Because I didn't join for a long time, and even Anupa gave me a ring. Where are you staying? But I've been busy, so that's why. Well, I didn't make time to actually check in. But I think I remember you from before, and I remember Anupa, but the rest. Oh, Mimp. I remember Mimp also, but she's maybe hosting. Oh no, she's not hosting.
Yeah.
Offrey and Al. I don't know Offrey and Al.
Oh, I'm Al. I live in the United States in a town called Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay, in Bethlehem.
Yeah, I'm just going to go out now, and I might get a glitch as I switch to my hotspot from my Wi-Fi.
Let's see if that works. That was actually one of the really important learnings when we first went outside with participants, because that you could see that people had to log on again and again, and sometimes it doesn't really work, and makes you more resilient if you experience that. So, Al, yeah, I think you're frozen on screen. So where's Mimp?
I think Mimp was also supposed to be out. Maybe she's trying to get her bearings.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying today's session because we're in all different places doing different things, and we're getting to see.
Yes. Oh, Alice getting back on.
So this area is called Bethlehem Steel. It was a very large steel company, and when it went out of business, they took some of the machinery from the steel company and made artwork out of it. So these are giant gears. And then this is the National Museum of Industrial History. You know, you're supposed to pay to go in there, so I'll peek in. And then there's a fair amount of decommissioned steel plant I can show you as I walk around. So this is
oh, very nice.
Isn't that cool?
Industrial history is just so cool.
Yeah, it's well, a lot of people are sad here because we used to have this big employer in town, Bethlehem Steel, and everyone worked for them. So in the distance, you can see the blast furnaces where they would turn iron into steel. And then those buildings are all old Bethlehem Steel industrial buildings. Oh, here's one. And they're all sort of falling apart.
Mm-hmm. So there's nothing in it.
Yeah, that's an empty building. That's
what is it that we hear?
Pardon me?
What is it that we hear? Is it the wind?
There's some road work being done in the distance. Let me wander away from that noise. But my father that big building right there. My father used to work in that building, and I have memories of going there, and like he would work on Saturdays, and I'd go in and I'd play, and it was.
You know, it's so funny, Veetko, when you said noise and the amount of noise we hear in India, and I was like, what noise? I don't even hear anything. So it's quite interesting to see that how we adapt to sound because of our environment and what sound means to each of us in different ways. So
that is true. Remember that session on silence, which was about the noisiest that we ever had.
I'm going to start getting people back now, so we can have a little bit of interaction and also the second breakout room. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Al, for sharing, but please stay so we can see some more of what you're planning to do. Yeah, so let me start getting people back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anupa, for hosting this. But are we now going back to?
It's
to
so
plenary.
cool.
Emil,
Yeah.
Emil, I just get a plate. Can I have some of your food?
Yeah, it's all WWJ together hosting today. So some of us are in the
I
plenary.
will volunteer.
Try. I put it on your plate. Wait a
Oh, yeah,
minute.
can you?
Yeah, you can. Just pick it. Just here you have the spoon.
Okay. Oh, spoon.
Just take the
Wait,
spoon.
wait, I get a spoon. I get a spoon.
If anybody
Wait,
wants to see the recipe, please
We
view
do.
the
Wait, I
replay.
just get the spoon.
I
Mia,
only have the recipe
you
in
ready?
Dutch,
Oh, wow.
but just pick.
Oh,
pick some.
yes, yes, please. Oh, thank you. Excellent. More.
More.
Just a little bit. I leave enough for you. Thank you.
Yeah, my kids have left the building, so I will be eating together with my wife only, I think.
You know, that's always the case. Then you say, dinner's on the table and say, no, I don't have time. Oh, no, I'm not hungry. No, I don't like. So
Yeah.
thanks for sharing, Emil.
Happy to oblige.
Bon appetit.
Thank you.
Yes. Ma'am,
Since
so
we're
Mem
on
is there.
Hey, Mem.
Yeah.
Memphis in a good pose.
Yes.
She looks like she's sleeping.
Mem, where are you? You know that Mem and we were out together yesterday on the street.
We were.
Where? Hey, there's Mem.
No camera really, but other than that,
Okay.
we would have been walking along maybe where you are now, Mem. Where are you? Let us see that.
I'm at the park.
At the park.
There's some children. I'm not going to do that.
Let me see. Have I been there?
I'm at the park. Yes, you have been there.
Oh my God, this is so emotional. This is Tonbridge, people. Tonbridge is in Kent, and they've got the most wonderful park with heaps and heaps of space. It's just so spacious and so green with members. And it smells because they mowed the lawn. And the guy was driving along on his tractor mowing the lawn. It just smelled beautiful. Thanks, ma'am.
Thanks,
Would
ma'am.
anybody else like to share?
Elizabeth.
Hello.
I got to walk virtually with Afri and Gina. It was lovely.
You guys want to hear a waterfall?
Yes.
Okay. If you listen carefully, maybe you can hear it, and I'll turn my camera around. Okay. Thought I'd share that. We in our group we had Yvonne and Pat. Pat was in Amsterdam and Yvonne is in Abu Dhabi, and it was really interesting. We were, I think, I'm at my home where I call my home from when I was in the state I was born, and both Yvonne and Pat are in cities where they weren't. It's not their home and not their their birthplace, and they miss things. Pat is from Hong Kong and Yvonne is from Serbia, and we were talking about the things that they miss about being at home. The smells of street food, the forest in Serbia, things like that. I think it's really cool. So it's a nice connection to make.
And what is it that you're missing?
I didn't think
And
of the
she says it's a
question.
very old, it's considered a book. Is she there? Is she still there? Oh, I think Al is at the Bethesda Steel plant
Yes, he is.
He's at
I'm
US
at the
Steel.
Bethlehem Steel.
Bethlehem Steel. That's right. Bethlehem Steel, which is a famous industrial monstrosity in Pennsylvania.
And they turned, there's a music stage that I'm showing the top of the stage, and then the grassy area there is where we congregate, and they have free concerts in the summer on that stage. And then there's a nice building over there that they built. But most of this is just old steel plant stuff.
Right.
Rusting.
It's also interesting to see that even people are in different places, but they have similar environments. Like a lot of you are at parks, or just walking around your neighborhood. So it's quite it's like everybody's remote, but the same. So it's nice.
Yeah, every Wednesday I have a 9 o'clock meeting close to where I am, and usually I rush home and I get on my computer and I get on the Worldwide Jam. But this time I figured, since we're going to walk around, there's a lot to show here. And they built this walkway that I'm walking on so that you can get right up close to the industrial machinery and take a good peek at it and watch as the plant nature is taking over. Eventually, I don't know what they're going to do with this, but it's all going to fall down. But for the time being, it's still here.
I think that is so cool. It's like a high line next to the factory.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, so cool. I'm gonna have to go there now, Bethlehem. Definitely.
Yeah, look me up if you
would have never put it on my list, but now it's on my list.
We're only like 90 minutes from New York and an hour or some from Philadelphia.
Yeah,
so
and I think there's some bike routes or something that go from New York to there or something like that, probably.
Oh yeah, there's a trail that goes along the Delaware River, so Philadelphia is definitely very accessible.
Nice.
You're in Atlanta? Is that
South Carolina, Greenville,
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Yeah. Cool. All right. So where are we, team? Are we at, let's see what time it is. It is 11. Boy, this is great. It's stretching the space-time continuum. I feel like we've been doing this a while, but we still got another half an hour.
Hi. I'm not too
Hello.
sure if you can see what I'm seeing, because it's around 9 o'clock here in India, and I'm trying to get you to hear the sounds of the cicadas and the cricket. I don't know if you can hear it. It's pretty dark. I'm in the hills out here in the southern part of India.
What
Can
I've
you hear
noticed
some
is
sounds?
the sounds I've noticed, and maybe that, I don't know if you guys heard waterfall, but you can hear the sounds behind you only when you talk. And I think the technology, the noise canceling technology, cancels out all of these soft noises that aren't voices. But when you're talking, we can hear the crickets. And we heard that with Yvonne was also sharing the call to prayer, which was way cool. And we heard ducks taking off from one of the canals in Amsterdam with Pat. So talk a little bit and we'll hear.
That's nice.
I think if
So I'm trying
Emil,
to so we at a higher altitude, because we're in the hills. Sky was clear and we could actually see some beautiful constellations. But now we get to see some glowworms out here. The sky is getting a little cloudy.
Yeah, we can see some kind of shadow, which is really nice.
It's very calming, especially when we come out and we just get to hear some of these beautiful sounds. Yeah, so that's from India.
Ezekiel, where are you? I see water.
I'm in the campus of one of the campuses of a state university that's about a 3-minute drive from my house. and it's on the bay. So it's surrounded by water, and I do my morning exercise here every day. So sharing the views.
Beautiful, really beautiful. You're lucky.
The water looks like crystal clear.
But yeah, the water is a little clear today. There's some like little islands there. So I was telling the folks in my breakout that actually the party people in Miami, the party boats, sometimes you see 20, 30 boats parked along the shore and people get out and they just have really rowdy parties over there. So it's usually later in the day and on the weekend.
I'm telling everyone that you work just suggest to Zoom that day that they have one option without sound cancelling, so we can have one on sound again.
Here's some, this is Jenna calling from Seattle, and I just thought I'd share quickly some authentic Seattle rain. I think people typically presume Seattle is rainy, and today it is delivering rain, and our rain is almost always gentle, and we rarely ever have thunderstorms.
What, Jenna, what part of Seattle are you in?
Just 2 blocks over there is where the center of Chaz or CHOP was, which was the Capitol Hill Occupied protest. That was in June 2020, and throughout the summer when there the Black Lives Matter protests. And so I'm in Capitol Hill.
You're Capitol Hill. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. I love Seattle. I was there a couple of years ago. It's a great city.
Oh, lovely.
I have a friend who lives up near Lake Washington.
Oh, that's a lovely one. If yeah, I could have had a nice water view to share as well. But what lake was that, or the camp? What college? The person just sharing the water is, I think it was Ezekiel. Where was that?
Yeah, this is the Florida International University, so FIU, the North Campus.
Oh,
in Miami.
Very cool. Nice. Thanks.
Gina, I love the colors of the trees behind you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very pretty. Yeah.
I wonder what are like these special like connections that you have on those places where you are. So that's something that I asked to who I share, and I was with Ezekiel and Elizabeth and Cornelia. So I don't know if you would like to share a little bit on that.
I agree, Yvonne.
Yeah, even the smallest things like this, like rain here, it never rains. Like in 3 years, like 20 minutes in total, meaning like few minutes every year. So you feel it, little sprinkles. It's not even a sprinkle. It cannot be cold rain at all. And that's how it is. And also we were discussing, I miss smells. Like you're in the middle of a desert, you cannot smell a single thing. That's why, yeah, like there is no smell whatsoever. There are no trees, nothing. So all of this is what you miss, and you don't appreciate until you lose them at all. So, yeah.
So the only reason there's a settlement there is because there's a lot of oil and gas, and they can afford to like build a city that you can survive in the desert.
I mean, it has its own flavor, you know, like, but it's not for everyone. It's not for living. Like these are not conditions that you should live in at all. Like it's not humane.
I wouldn't have thought that the absence of smell in a city is disturbing, because I don't know, many times it's not really nice smells, but it's like bad smells.
Trust me, you miss them. Once you don't have them, you miss anything, like any kind of smell. And we were just discussing about Hong Kong. how you move through Hong Kong and you experience millions of smell in a matter of 1 minute, millions of different smell, either it's street food or shops or people or anything, you know. But here it's nothing. Like, first of all, you're not outside that much. Everything is indoors. Everything is under AC. So you feel the smell of AC, which is horrible, you know. And this is what you feel most of the time. And yeah, we have few months of winter when you can sit like this outside. Otherwise, you're tied in your room from AC to AC, from indoor to indoor.
So I just, yeah, I just wonder, a thought came to my mind. It was like trying to, not really trying to, but just pondering how do we connect this to the work we do? Some of us that are trying to change the world for the better, right? And I think what I've noticed is just like a really deep connection of and empathy by, like, for example, this conversation about that Pat in our group talked about AC being a smell, the smell of his home, and I, maybe I'm wrong, but like there's a nostalgia for that and a longing for that to some degree. And then Yvonne, who's in the same call, is talking about the smell of air conditioning is the only smell and it's disgusting. So I think it's really, it just shows you how we all sort of walk through this world in a very different way. And we're, you know, but we can experience the same thing and have very different reactions to it, right, through our senses.
And just now that you're enlarging about on empathy, appreciating that smell is important, and what Yvonne just said is just, I find it very, very powerful to say that, and to say, yeah, once you connect to your senses, you can add a different meaning to things. Like I did a workshop on security in traffic and had people feel a piece of fruit first, and they would say completely different things, not something about their concept of security in traffic, but about, I want my children to be safe or something like that. So it changes the perspective a lot.
Cornelia, what would you like to add?
Yeah, thank you. Just building on what Mark just said, it's this aspect that our current experiences are so very different, but ultimately there's so much more which connects us, right? Which unites us, because we all have these sensorial experiences and we all have the 5 senses. So even if, I forgot the name, I apologize, but the sound of the cicadas is something that most of us experienced at one point in our lives. So we can imagine it, and in a glimpse of a way, we're still a little bit there. And the same way, the smell of the air conditioning, most of us have experienced it. So we can close our eyes and imagine it, even if we're in the middle of winter. And so in a way, the senses can build a very interesting binding and connecting component, even if people are from very diverse backgrounds and currently find themselves in very diverse contexts. So to build social bounds and interhuman relationships, it can be a very interesting element to consider. Thank you.
Cool.
We also talk about us as people being research instruments, and this interaction really drives home like the importance of actually going to see what environments that the people that we're trying to serve are in and how that feels like for them.
Yeah.
I mean, just hearing the story about the no smells, like that is so wild. I never ever thought about that before. So that was like super enlightening just now. That was, thank you for sharing that. That was really cool.
Yeah, and I, Cornelia, I love the connection between your memory of your life experience and what's happening to somebody else at a particular moment. That's that's a really interesting aspect of empathy that, empathy to me is kind of this big mysterious ocean of a subject that you could spend your whole life talking about, whole life studying and so forth. But love that connection. What we'd like to do now is, Anupa, if we can do random breakout rooms of pairs of 2 people and just try to go maybe one-on-one, the experience of being just talking with one other person for maybe 8 or 10 minutes, whatever time the superpowers of the hyperspace will allow us in the schedule. And then we can come back and we can have another chat like this. But let's go into breakout rooms in pairs and have a chat there. Is that good?
Yeah. Okay, I'm opening the breakout rooms. Yep.
Do you want me to stay here in the main room?
Yes, do please.
Yes,
Because
I
we
can.
missed to have somebody who was really outside.
Can somebody else go in with the person that I was supposed to go with?
Who was
okay.
it?
Yeah, I can join. I don't know how to put myself.
You can just go to where it says the room, the line of the room, and then join. But if you're the host, can you make?
Oh no, I'll move back
Ivan.
to. Yeah, let me just do that.
Ivan can go with Sujata because she's on her own as well.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I've just Sujata.
You want to do that or do I do that?
Yeah, I've sent them.
Yeah, okay.
Oh no, but he's still alone. I don't know how. I've just
nobody's in my room. But
we just wanted to
yeah. Let me put to.
And Ivan is back because Mark is not gone.
Oh, I
anyway.
I'm back.
Another.
Cool. Don't worry. That's cool.
I would just stay here. That's fine.
Yeah, just stay here.
I'll stay here too. It's fine.
Let me show you what I'm looking at. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh my God,
wow. It is. It is.
I think you want to make me cry, right?
Sorry, Ivan. No, it's to make your heart fill with good things, not bad things, my friend.
Yes, to experience memory in happy spaces.
Sujata said something in the chat which I really like. This is the connection to childhood memories. Like sensory experiences really are very strongly related to childhood memories. And obviously, Ivan, you're experiencing exactly that, true? Is that what's happening?
I mean, we all do, right? We all miss our mom's smell of their food, cooked food, a perfume of father or first girlfriend that had some perfume. So all of these smells and feels are bringing up your memories and feelings. So yeah, of course. The problem is that we don't appreciate them until we lose them. That's the thing. And that's the biggest issue that I have in this whole thing.
And will you stay in Abu Dhabi forever, or will you? I mean, you might come back changed.
No, not for sure. This is not a place to live. This is a place to work and for a certain period of time, and then find some place nice.
He's going to make some money there while he can, and then he's going to go buy a nice house in the mountains in Serbia. Am I right?
And invite us.
For sure.
Okay, Ivan, then we want to know now what if you maybe close your eyes, because everything is visual. If you close your eyes and walk us through your hometown in Serbia, what would we experience there?
That's very interesting. So my hometown is Belgrade. So it's capital of Serbia. And it's very diverse in terms of you have lakes, you have rivers, you have mountains, you have parks everywhere. So it's really, really nice. And I mean, the country itself, it lived through hell, so to say. So through politics, through wars and everything that happened there. So it should be a really nice place, but it's not, because after the bombings and the war with Yugoslavia was falling apart, we set ourselves back for like 10 or 20 years. So yeah, but again, once you leave that place, you start missing things, same as what we are now discussing, things that you see, things that you feel, even the air, smell of the air, or feeling of the snow, smell of the snow. Oh my God, smell of the winter. I mean, this is the thing that I miss the most. Like, I cannot wait for winter to come and just fly back and feel the cold snow and everything there. So yeah, it is challenging to be.
Yeah, the feeling of like 50 Celsius degrees of scorching heat is really a different level of summer. I'm sure Ivan will know about that.
Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it right away, even in your home. If you put something in your stove and when you open the stove to see if it's done or not, that's exactly the same feeling when you open the door and you go outside. It's absolutely the same.
Right.
Yeah, but what I really am enjoying about this session is the fact that, we're talking about something so 3D in terms of physical experiences, and that can be translated so beautifully onto something digital. Yeah. And the fact that we're all in remote locations, we can actually sense or feel what the other person is experiencing. And at a very close proximity, I think in itself is beautiful.
It is. Yes. And if I just highlight MIMP for a minute, and see MIMP on this green lawn, which is incredible. It's incredible colors, MIMP. It just you look like so Heath? Good on that lawn, and it's so immense.
Hampstead Heath is where Vipka is. Well, Hampstead. I'm in my town, Tunbridge. And Vipka was here yesterday. Wells. No, Tunbridge.
Yeah,
Tunbridge
right,
Wells is another one.
Oh, just Tunbridge. Yeah, okay.
Just Tunbridge with an O. But yeah.
My niece is dating a gentleman from Tunbridge Wells, and now I know roughly where it is because I didn't know it was that close to London. So
it's so close. It's a 40-minute commute. Yes.
Nice.
Mark, you should come visit.
Oh, I'll be there over Christmas. I'll be over Christmas, so we will have to meet up. Will you be there in Christmas?
Yes, I should be.
All right.
I don't really plan to go anywhere. Yeah, it will be lovely and cold.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
Yeah, I don't think Mark's going to have like winter issues.
Why is that? Because of this?
The fur in your face, you mean?
Yeah, but this gives off a lot of heat up here, so I could get cold very quickly if I don't have a hat on.
Oh, God.
For sure.
I have a question. What Anupa just said, like, it's more of a thought. Like, how can we really replace those feelings? We cannot if we didn't experience them before, right? If I didn't experience, let's say, a smell of that field or a rain or anything else, I cannot really relive it, so
yeah, you cannot relive it, but like what Mark said, you can empathize and sympathize with what the other person is saying. So even if you're not experiencing something that the other, like your receiver has said, you can at least see through their emotion and their sight.
I think that goes to the heart of empathy, Ivan, because I think that if you can't make the leap to something that you haven't personally experienced, then you can't have a deeper empathy for people, right?
Yeah, but we're talking about different level of empathy. Now we're talking about other senses. It's not an empathy of how do you feel as a human being, right? It's more of the senses of let's say smell. I can empathize with you. You can explain, right? But I cannot actually feel it. I can understand it, but I cannot relive it or feel it in me, if you get my point.
For sure.
Yeah, but then maybe you can like think of
what I
like
was gonna say
similar,
is
oh, sorry.
yes, exactly. No, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I think that's really of empathy is necessarily. So, for example, on you hookah with blueberry, and I don't know what that.
I think Mark's breaking up.
Yeah, Mark,
Giving
your
each other
connection's
these-
not good. We can hardly hear you.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Ivan,
sorry.
like
Well,
let's say
I'll shut
you're
up.
having I don't know, let's say that rice thing, maklub, but the thing is that let's say somebody who's not eaten it probably will think about something similar or close to what they've eaten, and then they'll be like, yeah, okay, that's something. But yeah, it won't be the same, but it'll be close enough.
My idea would be, just for the moment, if it would be worth having a session where you try and make that understood to somebody who hasn't experienced it. If there is any way that we could put that in words and experienced it, a sensory experience that another person hasn't had, that you pick one thing and say, this is what I experienced, like, what's the smell of snow? I've been thinking, what is the smell of snow? And I had that, but maybe you can describe, what does it do? What value is attached? How do you feel when you smell snow?
Oh,
maybe can you relive that, Ivan? Could you try and explain to us what you have in mind when you say that? Maybe what it means, because it's like obviously rooted deep inside you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but that's again my bias and my personal experience of feeling and feeling the snow. Maybe you will connect it one of my senses that I have, or one of the etiquettes that I'm gonna say, this is how I feel when I feel the snow, right? So it's that deep and low temperature, that thin air that is going into your nostrils, and maybe somebody is burning something to get themselves a little bit warmer, so you feel also that burning wood smell, and so on and so forth, right? So I mean, and then pine trees, because they also smell really nice during the winter. So I don't know. I mean, it's all personal, and maybe and if we try to empathize with this and with explanations, not everyone is sensing the same way things, right? So somebody likes, let's say, it has different tolerance of pain. Somebody likes, somebody enjoys it, somebody does not, right? So it's really how do you perceive these things? It's your biased opinion, and it should stay that way, right?
You know what I heard? I heard you saying something about the pine trees, something about somebody burning something that it burns in your nostrils, and this is not the smell of snow itself, but what it means to you, what you lived through, and what's probably the smell of snow in Belgrade. And this is what I mean, like empathy is, we think we mean the same, like the smell of snow, and it's not. There's a lot of more things attached.
I think that's a great jam. Ivan, do you want to do it in the future as a session? I think it'll be interesting.
Do what
I'd love
exactly?
to hear that.
Take this idea of how people from different paths understand, like use metaphors and empathy to understand, like what you were saying, of a experience or an object.
That would be really interesting. I mean, but we would need people to prepare for it, right? It will require a lot of preparation, right? And it can be really interesting. Why not?
Maybe not. Maybe we can improvise. It's just training this empathy muscle by trying to see, what do I really hear and what do I think I hear? Like, and then you sort of put your what you have in mind about, like, maybe the feeling of snow, or the smell of snow. You compare, what is your smell of snow and what's mine?
Yeah, definitely. But when I was referring to burning wood and stuff, you can relate it. You're from UK, right?
I'm not.
No.
I'm German.
Sorry. But anyway, like on a countryside, like when people are burning wood to get heat, right? Right. You feel that smell that is around the air because everybody is making themselves warm. So you feel this in the cities or in the small towns, especially in the cities when they don't have like heating systems that are city heats, right? So yeah, it can be interesting. Yeah, that's really nice topic to discuss, by the way.
We're almost at the top of the hour. We need to bring everybody back and announce next week, guys.
I've just closed the rooms. But I feel we do this quite often. So let's say when you're talking to somebody who's not from your environment or from your surrounding, and you're trying to explain something to them, you're always giving them an option of similarity so they understand your point of reference. And, like today, if I start talking about this kind of fried bread that we eat with potatoes, so then I'll have to tell you, oh, it's like that, it's round, it's almost like a taco, but it's softer. So, you have those similarities, and then you'll be like, okay. Something.
That's what I was saying when I can you bring everybody back, Anupa?
Yes,
you already
I did
okay.
that.
I actually did that.
That's what I was trying to say when I got cut off, is that when we're trying to relate something, we're always, not always, but we frequently challenged with the idea of trying to relate something to somebody who hasn't experienced it. And we use, analogies and similar things to make connections. And what I've noticed in this conversation is that we often are relating those experiences to people's senses. Like it smells like this and it feels like this and it tastes like this. And that's kind of really interesting. I mean, empathy, I guess, is experienced in one part through your senses and another part through your mind and your memories, right? And then that thing called empathy, that sort of emotional connection that you make to people, really. And so for WWJ people, the crew, and for all of us here in the village, we've talked about empathy before, but I think we need to design, to your point, I think it was Anupa or Vipka or all of us talking about, we need to design a session that's really specifically to dive deep into empathy and try to figure out, like explore what it means in some sort of random fashion.
Maybe it's the experiences of my childhood, sensory experience of my childhood, and then go on about that. Cornelia was wanting to say something. Cornelia.
Thank you. I mean, I've been doing quite a bit about research on empathy, and I think there's also something that would be interesting to integrate if there was such a session, and that is the difference between empathy and compassion. Because empathy is to feel with somebody, but that does not necessarily result in action. But if we really think about empathy as a point of departure for social change, then it is quite interesting to make the next step to not only feel with, but to feel to the point that you want to relieve whatever suffering the other person might be going through. And I think that is quite an interesting connection between the sensation to the emotion via the intellect making sense of it, down to how do we manifest that in action that actually serves that other person. Thank you.
Okay, team, we need to wrap YouTube and then get to the backstage, I believe.
I want to know about the next session.
Yes,
I do. I want to know.
Yeah.
So it is going to be it's going to be Pedro, and he's going to be talking about forecasting product and service successes with AI. So that's going to be interesting. We'll have the link either on the website or on one of our social media platform posts. So stay tuned for that. Along with that, tomorrow we have Cecile and Hugo also talking about leadership and emotional intelligence and how you use it within organization. So yeah, if you can, please tune into that. The link again will be available on the website or on one of our platforms. And yeah, that's enough from me, and I'll